Rodney Fisher, Courtney Jackson here with CCE Gameday, a brand new feature for CCE. Now here with Courtney Jackson, the founder and the president of CCE. Tell us what's different this year from last year.
I don't know if anything's different. We're just working a lot harder, and that's just got to be the goal every year. We're trying to cover more kids. We're trying to go through every crack and cranny to find kids, and we're trying to do our best to promote them and do as much in our power to have it to where everybody across the state and across the country knows about these kids.
I know when we left off last year, we had the big turnout for the All-Star game, 2 days of football, some of the top talent around Texas. And you have done something different this year. You're going around to other cities, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, even Keller, to find kids for this All-Star game. Tell us about that.
You know, sometimes they say that, they'll find you. And we're actually taking that and we're actually seeking to find. And so, we had a combine in Monroe, Louisiana. We had a combine in San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Lancaster, Plano, Allen, Keller. We had one in John Tyler, which is East Texas, and then we also had one in Fort Worth. So we feel like we've done a great job of trying to comb the whole state of Texas, trying to find these kids, asking kids to come out so we can see them and get testing data that we can have on them about the combine. And from there, we want to then be able to track them throughout the season, which is nothing different than we've done in the past. But this year we're giving out invites, and we have a CCE Top Prospect All-Star Series, which is going to be phenomenal. It's an opportunity to bring in the top 80 kids, age pure, the top 8-year-olds, top 9-year-olds, top 80 10-year-olds, top 80 6th graders, top 80 7th graders. Bring them in, divide them up into 4 teams, and let them be able to play football against each other and work and compete not only individually but collectively for something that's more important. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be different and state of the art.
Well, also too, I noticed that the website has changed completely. At catchcoverleague.com now, you have some kids that are being able to actually put up their own highlight footage, their own profile page, so everyone can see exactly what we see on a week-to-week basis.
Exactly. We had an opportunity to do something with Baylor University where we had a chance to pretty much almost like invite the top kids that were 7th graders and 8th graders, class of 2021 and 2022, to Baylor. Let Baylor look at them. They went through a whole combine and workout over 3 hours. And we had 3 kids, 3 8th graders, get offered scholarships from that Baylor staff. And one of the things that they kept telling me was, Courtney, the magazine is great, but I want to be able to have digital data. I want to be able to see them and have it to where I can be able to share it instantaneously from anybody to anywhere at any time. And so that got me going with you and other people are trying to figure out a way to get this Texas Top Prospect webpage up. This is an opportunity for kids across the state to be able to pay $40 and then be able to have their own page to where anybody across the country can come in there and look at them. And the reason why it's significant being on our page is because we're identifying these kids, saying that they're the top kids.
Right.
We're identifying, we're putting in all this combine data, and also some of these kids have been ranked for 2 and 3 years. And the better the kids that are coming through our program are doing, being the top player in the country, All-Americans and stuff like that, that helps us out with legitimizing our company and what we do.
And this particular tournament you're putting on, kind of a preseason tournament, a little bit of a workout for teams. You got some of the top teams in the city actually here today, but also it's a conjunction with, I believe, Nike Drive Nation. So tell us about that partnership and also about some of the teams you have here today.
Well, Drive Nation is Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal has Drive Nation. They have volleyball, girls. They have volleyball. They have boys basketball, and now they're venturing out into football. And we had a nice little partnership of being able to get some organizations a part of it, so that they can be able to spread that Drive Nation around further. And one of our Drive Nation teams that we partner with is DFW Elite and Oklahoma City Impact. And so we put on a big tournament, 2-day tournament, to let kids and teams across the city be able to come in here and compete up under the Nike swoosh in the Drive Nation thing in order to try to just get a trophy. Sometimes you play these preseason games, right, and and they're 30 minutes long, and it's 10 minutes of flags, and you only got 10 plays in and a half, and you call that a game. We're actually giving you a lot more for free. So I think it's a great opportunity for, like I said before, it's a measuring stick for teams to be able to look at themselves and see where they are right now, where they want to go.
Well, we're going to take a look at the action today, so stay tuned. Courtney Jackson will bring you guys interviews with some of the coaches and players from around the league, some of the top teams and top talent. It's a brand new season for CCE TV, and you're getting it ready for it right now here at the Nike Drive Nation Tournament.
CCE Gameday, baby. This is Courtney Jackson, CCE Gameday, Youth Football Gameday, and we're at the Nike Drive Nation Tournament, and I'm standing here right now with the president of the HP Bobcats and the offensive coordinator of the 7U team, Coach B. And I had a question for Coach B, and I said, Coach, I know that last week you guys won, this week you guys were shut out. It's kind of a tale of two cities, and the question I was asking you was, are there any positives that you could take out? And then sometimes I think you can learn some things from the things that you did not do successfully. Tell me about it.
Definitely, we can definitely mix it up a little bit more. Get after guys. You gotta want to get hit in the mat. You gotta have some dog in you when you play football against these guys. It's a very sound, disciplined team, and you just gotta get after them.
Got it. He said the word nasty, and we try to get these preseason games, and most coaches get preseason games, and the whole thing is trying to be able to, it's a measuring stick, it's to see where you are versus other competition. These guys are in Taifa, these guys are in the NTX United League. Two different leagues, but they're both 7U, and I think that you get better by having these kind of games, because I can guarantee you, in the DFW region, you probably won't see another Taifa team better than that 7U team you just saw today. Is that right, or you think so?
Yeah, you'll see the HP Bobcats.
Well, there it is. There it is.
You know what I'm saying,
excluding the HP
I'm
Bobcats.
just saying, baby. Preseason game, you'll write us off.
And there's never no writing off. Never no writing off here. I want to talk a little bit about you guys having your own organization. You're young. You're younger than me. And you have your own organization. Tell me what led you to do this.
Man, honestly, man, my oldest son is 11, man, and I started out with him when he was 4. I took him to the HP Bobcats. I wasn't even the president then, man. I took him over and I was helping coach, and the coach out there didn't know hoes, didn't know how to tell the guys the hoes, man. So I took over coaching, and next thing you know, man, it's for my neighborhood, man. I want my son to be around good, positive kids. So I'm taking on that leadership role in my neighborhood, and I want my neighborhood to grow from that, man. So and I took over now for roughly 5 years, man, and this year we have over 100 kids, man, and when we first started, it was like 30.
Over 100 kids in the program. If anybody wants to reach out to the HP Bobcats, how can they get a hold of you?
Hey, man, you can hit my cell, 469-767-1590. You can also hit me on the HP Bobcat Nation Facebook. Tavar Watson, W-A-T-S-O-N, first name T-E-V-A-R on Facebook as well.
There you have it. They're not up and coming. They've been around, and they're going to be heard from this year. This is the HP Bobcats and Courtney Jackson. This is CCE Youth Football Gameday. Thank you, guys. Courtney Jackson, CCE Gameday, 2017. I'm here with some bad boys from the DFW League. This is the winning team in the second round of the thing. I got my man JT, I got Caleb, and I got Jatavian. 3 players that definitely made an impact on today's victory. Today, the score, what was the score at the end? 28-0. Now, I'm going to start with Caleb. Caleb's a CCE invite for the All-Star game. Caleb, tell me what position you play and how many touchdowns you scored today. Running back, 2 touchdowns. Folks, I'm telling you something about this young man. I met him in the spring during 7-on-7. This boy is a human joystick. He can make any move he wants to at any time on the field, and he has a high ceiling. He's an invite. He scores a touchdown, it seems like every game. Now I'm going to go to this man next to him, a lockdown corner and a big-time receiver named Jatavian. Jatavian, tell me about the game today. Did you have fun? You had fun. So, you played against the HP Bobcats. Were you able to get in the end zone today? Tell me about the touchdown. There it is. They're a good team. Now I'm going to slide all the way over here. And a lot of times we don't get enough respect to these guys right here, the guys in the trenches. This guy, I saw him up in the press box. The play went to the right. He was still blocking the guy to the left after the whistle. I love that about him. Tell me, how long have you been playing football?
Since I was 3.
Since you were 3 years old. And now you're 7 now?
Yes, sir.
7 years old. What position do you play?
Defensive tackle and offensive line.
So,
offensive.
So here's my question. You said defense of tackle, then you said offensive lineman. So if you had your choice, would you say you're an offensive player or a defensive player?
Defensive player.
I knew it. I knew it. Now, let me tell you something. You make more money on the offensive line than you do the defensive line. Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with being an offensive lineman. All right?
Yes, sir.
Once again, this is Courtney Jackson, CCE Game Day. Folks, we're going to be doing this all day. We're at the Nike Drive Nation tournament. We had a 7U game against the HP Bobcats, who were undefeated coming into this game, against the mighty DFW Elite 7U, who was undefeated. They have not been scored on, folks, and they are still not been scored on. This is Courtney Jackson, CCE Youth Football Game Day. I'm standing right here with the team that's headed to the championship, the 7U coaches for the DFW Elite. I'm going to start off with Coach LeQuint, head coach. Coach, this is your third game. As a whole organization, you guys on defense have not given up a touchdown. You guys set the precedent for the flag now. Tell me how it feels and what's the culture right now as your first year as a DFW Elite coach.
It just feels good to be a dog right now, man. You know, this is just the beginning of this journey. We got a long journey ahead of us. You know, just keep working hard, keep getting better. Hopefully everybody see us in the championship with the NTXGame United right along with tomorrow night. Coach Wesley reiterated, we're going to take this tournament over. This is our turn.
So I have Coach Wesley and I have Coach James here. Coach James, tell everybody what do you coach and how long have you been coaching?
First, giving honor to God and all my praises to God, man. I coach the defense on the 7U.
Coach the defense on the 7U. This whole coaching staff was somewhere else last year, and they pretty much were annexed in to the DFW Elite family. Have done a great job with it. I think they're going to have bigger things to come. I want to commend you guys on a couple things I saw. I really saw kids look like they're being coached. And I say that from a point of view of it is not in the game. The game was a clean game on both sides. It wasn't riff-raff. It was clean coached. And what I like about it is I saw plays being run and plays being executed. Sometimes I think as coaches, we young, we want to run, we want to have 80 plays, our mind can say it, but we can't execute 10 plays. Tell me, as an offensive coordinator, and Coach Wesley, what's your job title as well?
Defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator. So y'all are co-D coordinators.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all ever have arguments over what kind of front y'all gonna run or anything? Nothing like that at all. So I'm gonna go to LeQuint on this question. Playbook. You got a young man named Caleb. I really love Caleb's game. You have 3 or 4 other great players on that team. Tell me what's the hardest thing of coaching so many guys that can be able to pop it at any time?
The only hard part is which one gonna start first. That's about it.
Which one's gonna start first?
Say, anyone can get it and take it home at any time. Anytime. We just now getting the 10 boys back. Like I said, we only can go up from here.
Yeah.
Only up from here.
So no trepidation. You're not worried at all about if Caleb gets 4 touchdowns one day and somebody else only gets 1.
It's a team game, Courtney.
It's a team game.
It's a team game.
And so when you have so many stars, you got to start that early on them before they become stars. Teaching them that lesson too. So where do you guys practice? If anybody wants to get a hold of you guys, they have a 7U player out there that wants to participate and wants to play and live in the southern sector, how can they get a hold of you guys?
469-377-0113. That's my number. Contact me and let me know.
Where you guys practice?
Practice in Lancaster behind the high school. Behind the high school.
1700
veterans.
Also, we have the email address 7udogs@gmail.com.
7udogs@gmail.com. This is Courtney Jackson. This is CCE Youth Football Game Day. We're going to be here every week of the football season, covering the best games across the DFW area. And right now, I'm standing with a great group of men on both sides. And it's really an honor working with you guys. And I can't wait to see what you guys do this season on both sides. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Courtney Jackson. This is CCE Game of the Week. And we have some teams right here, man. And I'm tell you, I'm really, really impressed. They are called the Southwest Rebels, the first year in existence. This is the 8U team. And from what I hear, Coach Rodney, you guys have 2 8U teams.
Yes, sir. We got 2 8U teams, 8U Red, that is the Red Army, and then 8U, the regular 8U Rebels, but we're one family though.
So is it safe to say that this is the best team, better 8U team?
No, sir. They all good.
They're all good.
Ain't no such thing as better than one.
Are you running for any kind of political office anytime soon?
Sir, can I give you my card anytime soon?
There it is. Now, I have 2 kids standing here. And the first guy I'm going to start out with, his name is Jalen. Folks, if you can really pan in and see how big this kid is. This is an 8U kid. He weighing about 100 pounds. He plays defensive end, controls the line of scrimmage at defensive end or outside linebacker, however you want to call it in Little League football. But he also lines up at running back and gives business. Today, he accounted for both touchdowns, Coach.
Yes, sir.
70 yards for one of them and about 58 yards on the next one. Tell me this, 2 longest runs in your career?
This season.
This season? So let me ask you this question. I know it's a lot of, it's a backdrop to this story. DFW Elite, Rebels kids, they all kind of were one. Coach Rodney coached with the DFW Elite last year. It was a great, great story that we could have built up on this. But I love the fact at the end of it that they all came together, they prayed together, they talked together, and they all have a mission of getting these kids better. So Rodney, please tell me a little bit about what you told everybody today.
Well, like I told everybody, playing any form of activity, extra activity, it's a privilege. Football is a privilege. You look on every day on the TV, you'll see that the NFL takes a year away, takes 3 games away, so it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So the only thing God guarantees is the choice to choose him or choose death. But football is a privilege, and I make sure every grown man that's involved with any youth sports that I'm around, we're going to pray, and you're going to let these kids know that it's a privilege, not a right.
Now, tell me about this kid up under your right arm right here. This young man wearing number 23, my college football number, but he's not a DB. He's not a running back. Tell me your name, first of all.
Kendall Hunter.
Kendall Hunter. What position do you play?
Center and left guard.
So,
Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle.
now, everybody wants to talk about tackles made. I want to know about pancakes. Did you put anybody on their back today?
Yes, sir.
You did. How does it feel when you make a great block that springs a run? Feels good. Now, go back to the man of the hour, the man amongst boys. I'm giving out an invite to both of these kids to play in our Top Prospect All-Star Series in December. We will have the best kids all across Texas playing in this game. I promise you that. And I think you two guys being a part of that is going to make sure that happens. Tell me this, running back or defensive linebacker, which one do you like more? I knew it. Von Miller or Le'Veon Bell? You just answered your question.
Tell me what Texas was.
So you're gonna make more money too. I'm gonna let you know that too. But this is Courtney Jackson, CCE Game of the Week. This is Youth Football Sports Day, Game Day, and I have right now the victorious team, my bad, I want to say DeSoto, Southwest Rebels. They'll be playing later this evening to go to the finals, playing against YU's 8U team. Good luck, Coach.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Shake his hand, guys.
Courtney Jackson, CCE Game Day. I'm standing here right now with the DFW Elite head coach of the 8U team. Coach, played against a good team today. You were a little bit undermanned, but I know you guys are not about excuses. Tell me this, first time being scored on in the whole organization, and you guys had to do it. I know you for a long time. Tell me how it's feeling right now.
Nah, man, you know, it's all in the day's work. You know, Southwest Rebels came to play. You know, it was a good measuring stick for us.
Yeah.
Because the last 2 weeks we don't play, we pretty much dominated.
Yeah.
Now we know what we need to work on.
So I'm standing here with the J Wheel boys. I got the quarterback and I got one of the halfbacks here. And as you can see by their somber faces, they're not happy about the results they had. I can tell you as a person who has had a lot of losses and a lot of wins, you take and you build on losses to make you never have that feeling again. So if you don't like how you feel right now, you work harder in practice. You listen more to your coaches and you won't have many more of these days. Here's a question I had for the quarterback. You had a nice throw and catch early in the game. Did you want to see that pass and attack open up more later in the game? Did you want to pass the ball more?
Yes, sir.
So talk to me. Tell the camera what's going on. What was the name of that play, if you could give me without the Rebels hearing it? Who did you throw the pass to?
Pawpaw.
Do it to Pawpaw. Now, if we don't know who Pawpaw is, we don't know.
Right here.
Oh, that's Pawpaw, another J Wheel. Fellas, this guy has an arm that he throws spirals, so he can throw the ball 30 yards. Youth football 30 yards. Has a great arm and has a lot of potential and a bright future. And he's set up to be go to play in our All-Star game. Now I'm gonna ask him, the running back over here. You had a couple shifty runs, and I told you earlier, you got to do what with the ball? When you're running to the right, side of the field, you got to put the ball in your right hand. And I think that a couple of times, if you watch the film of it, they were able to tackle you on plays where you could have stiffed on and got away because you had the ball in your hand, the inside hand. Now, you weren't able to score. Tell me some of the things that you got to work on to get better for next week. It is passing, receiving, doing all that. Coach, you guys got a game next week, right? Who do you guys play next week?
Next week it's our bowl game, so we don't have a schedule yet, but so I don't know who we play.
Whoever line up in front of you,
whoever line up in front of us, that's what we're gonna take. No excuses. No.
Okay. Courtney Jackson, CCE Gameday. I'm here with some of the boys from DFW League, the quarterback and the receiver. They're both known as Jay Will, and they're both bad boys. I appreciate you guys coming out here, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Coach.